Yeah,
Hey,
man.
that what KD said. I'm out of here.
Hey,
Well, go ahead.
I
Them
want to
won some
ask
more
y'all too.
championships too. Go
What
ahead,
y'all thought
dude.
about the defense?
Damn, you took it out, man. I was just going to transition to there. I think that the
Well,
defense. Let Unc
oh,
go
go ahead,
first. Go ahead,
Chico.
Unc. Oh, you go
Oh
ahead.
well, I think that when you look at the scoreboard, you give a thumbs up. But when you look at the more technical issues, some of the yardage and some of the situations, I said in post game that I knew going to this week, we were going to have to focus and work on some tackling stuff because I know Coach Prime. I've been with him 6 seasons now, and sure enough, at the team meeting, he said, "Coaches, put some tackling drills in today," because we missed our fair share of tackles, and they ended up being big plays. And so, what you can't do is focus so much on the scoreboard and say we won and we won convincingly, because you're not going to be able to give up those kind of big plays, missed tackles down the road, and it not impact the scoreboard. You think about the big run where okay, Jeremiah and Ben came over and did their thing. 9 times out of 10, that's a score right there. And so the missed tackles, were a focus this morning. Going to be a focus the rest of this week, I'd imagine, because it was here's a word, Chico. It's kind of like doozy. It was a bugaboo. Bugaboo.
Thought that was a song.
That is a song.
Okay.
Yeah, but the term existed before the song. The song was made after the term versus the term being made and the song being made. Yeah. Hey, man, speaking of songs being made from terms, I didn't know. I learned a fun fact today, just this morning.
What's that?
The song from School Days, Spike Lee joint, shout out to School Days, 40 Acres of Mule. The song by EU, The Butt, Spike Lee gave them the title before there was a song. He said, "Hey, working on this movie, I need a song called this.
Yeah.
And it needs to be like a go-go situation. Make it happen."
What about, speaking of
Love that.
terms and song names, like Bootylicious when Beyonce came out with that, right? Did
Yeah,
y'all know
I
that
think
that was a
I
word
know.
already?
I didn't. I didn't know that.
Do y'all know who said it?
Who said it first? I wouldn't be surprised if it was you,
The
Chico, and I ain't
rhymes
even
that
trying to make
you
no
Snoop
kick, Ice
jokes.
Dogg.
Cube, not Ice
Snoop
Cube,
Dogg.
Snoop. Yeah, the rhymes that you kicking are quite.
It did
Bootylicious.
say booty. Yeah, it did say bootylicious in there.
Good job, dude. My dog. Easy
Yeah,
right
I
on
said
it.
Ice Cube. Yeah, Snoop. Yeah, I remember that.
I still say
Snoop
Snoop
is
got it
man.
from Chico though, because
Probably
somewhere
did.
Snoop and Ray J was together. They were leaving the Kardashians. I know Chico can't talk about it, and Chico's like, "Man, that was bootylicious right there." And
Yep.
Snoop was like, "I
Oh
like
man,
that."
And you know Ray J and Snoop's family, where they from? Home,
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yep.
I ain't no Snoop
Could
from
be.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad's down there building up property right now. He said, "Man, I'm getting
Hmm.
property for cheap down here. I just got a 18-acre land for $18."
Boy,
Damn.
dad's honorary Southside. Boy, they love it over here. We see
Yeah.
dads are corrupt all the time.
Actually, I think he's in Atlanta doing that for real. College might be in
College-
College Park for real.
I'm telling you, dads be out.
Damn.
He in the hood, like he tapped in.
Mm.
I'm gonna shoot y'all a link, or I'm gonna repost it. Another ATL Daz Snoop fun fact. Sat down with Coach Prime one time at Jackson State, and he told me the story about how he was signed to Death Row, and that the Lady of Rage beat was his beat. Hey, Chico, you
Yeah.
know the faces I
Afro
be
Puff.
making. You know the faces I be making. He said, so I'm like, and what I do that for? Because then that Joker, he did his whole damn rhyme that was supposed to be on that track. He still know it by heart.
Damn.
And my boy pay attention
Afro
to
Puff,
detail.
Lady of Rage.
Yeah, he said that was his beat. And he
Wow.
said, Daz, helped him pen his verse. But he said, Neely, man, I was at the height of my endorsements at the time. And he said, I just couldn't be like publicly with Death Row. And then even just the name, forget the people, just the name, and have all these other relationships. So we never dropped it. He said, but yeah, he said they after I didn't, they gave that beat to Rage, and she put out her song.
Man, we gonna get
Mhm.
dads on here. That'd be
Gotta
hard.
get Daz on here.
We'll get dads.
Daz
Yeah,
Dillinger,
for
baby.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
gonna holler at
Yeah,
Big
dad,
A.
yeah, dad. Shout out to Dad. He be with my partner. Man, we need to get C-Bone on here. I don't know if y'all know C-Bone from the song Kryptonite.
T-Bone. Yeah, I know
Yeah, Black on
T-Bone.
C-Bone. Yeah, for sure. It's like that's down there like Keon God. Dad, we'll get him on here for sure.
Oh,
Did you see Chico face? That was like asking him if he know Chad. He went, I know. Oh, man, I asked him to ride. But matter of fact, when Pastor Troy told me I couldn't get in, he let me ride with him that night. I rode with him.
Now, Seabaugh was in the back seat. He was like, man, I would have let him ride, but Pastor Short just went ahead and pulled off. But,
Now, hey, but as far as defensively, one thing I did look at, I want to see them give. I was watching how Thaw was going off in the slot, and you know the wide receiver transfer. I forgot what Thaw came from. Did he come from Michigan?
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. And seeing Thaw in that slot, I would have loved to see them give Preston High some inside leverage, right? Say, okay, like put him like, because when you look at the slants that were given up and you look at some of those inside routes, it looked like he was playing them straight up. But this week, I know that Houston is looking at say, okay, when they go man, then we may want to exploit the slot. So I would like to see them give you some inside leverage and make them beat you somewhere else. So we'll see how that goes and see that's one thing I'll be looking for as far as the Houston game, how they play leverages on the slot.
Yeah, I like that, Dukes. I think if he was sitting here next to me, as quiet as he may be, or even the head coach himself, I think we all could say that Preston did not have his greatest game against Delaware, whether that was situational or what have you. So I'm certainly looking for a bounce back because that's just how he's built. You know, being senior leadership in there, understanding he has a draft status just like DJ McKinney. You know, and now just being a conference game is again one of those situations where introducing some competition. You know, from younger guys, what does that do, Chico? They have Chico. All right, I'm going to take this 90% to 100.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
Yeah. Give a shout out to Big Mike for the super chat right there. He said he was
Big
driving.
Mike having things. Big Mike having things.
Couldn't respond. I said the same thing to my wife, Coach Prime, in the voice of Shiloh Sanders. Dog, is manufactured adversity.
Yeah, shout out to Shiloh shout out to Shiloh for pointing that phrase with me. It was doing strength and conditioning, and they had to do something over, and Shiloh just standing there smirking and said, "Lo, what's going on?" He said, "Dog, they just manufactured adversity. Didn't nobody mess up. They just got it." He said, "Man, I've been knowing my dad all my life. He's do this stuff when I was growing up with him. He'll play like something went wrong just to make some competition. It's just manufactured adversity, dog. All we gotta do is just rise to the occasion, don't complain, get it over with."
That's dope. To even have that term in your head as a young guy to understand that shows he's been through some things with Coach Prime as his pops, for sure.
Yeah, I did want to say, man. I think last week I was talking about who's going to be that backside corner. Who do you trust? If you know what if you want to go DJ McKinney one side, or you want to let the safety come down in coverage, who do you trust to be on that backside as far as playing man coverage? And I thought R.J. Johnson, when they tried to attack him going up the field, I think he acquitted for himself well. It was certain things that I was looking for in that game. Yeah. Who can you trust to play that if he has to play that deep third on his own, or if which turns into man if play side is where it's loaded. So I think he did a good job as far as that goes.
Yeah. And you know, Dukes, you've been in the film rooms, and Chico, you as well as a player. You know, they tell you as a QB, it's the same thing on the defensive side, which have you. They'll tell you which numbers, you know, are the guys. So avoid that guy. If you see number 8, avoid that guy. But if you see number this, that's somebody we can. And so you know that quarterback, his eyes lit up when he saw a younger dude out there now. I'm going to go at him. Wrong.
You know my favorite saying, you got the right plan with the wrong man. Hello.
Because he got that.
Yeah, RJ was able to get a pick right there. I think Preston actually made a good break on that pick that he got. So good job by RJ being in the right position and making the play out there. I think he did a good job. Tion started last game, so I think they're trying to rotate to find out who's going to be that guy opposite of DJ and just let them play and go with you can go with the hot man right there. You know, somebody's playing well, not playing. You can bring them out and go right in right there. I think at cornerback, a little bit different than what you would do at quarterback position, though. Overall,
but it ain't much different. One thing about it, man, those positions where you on the island, where you're really like all lights are on you, when that ball goes up in the air and you over there and you look up and it's you and one other person and every step has to be right, your confidence and that and momentum has to be the same like a quarterback. Just to be honest. And once you lose,
because if it's not, that's when you do a silly penalty because you think you got to.
yeah,
One beat, let me grab him. And you see that same thing a lot on the defensive line, Chico and Dukes. You got a guy who jumped offside because he didn't trust his ability. He didn't trust his own speed. Like, I got to get a perfect jump so I can beat this guy. When the truth is, I'm 50 pounds heavier, two-tenths of a second faster. I can just bulldoze this dude. Like, I don't have to jump off sides on 3rd and 4 and get him a first down. Like, I can be patient and trust my ability. And that's part of that confidence, those game reps, seeing what you do in practice. And that way, going through these manufactured adversity situations, that way you rise to the occasion and when you have this belief in yourself. One of the things Coach Prime always says, it's in the hallway down here. The man don't try to be the man because the man is the man. You wouldn't be in this room if I didn't believe in you, no matter what your position is. You wouldn't be in here if I didn't believe in you. So take that and believe in yourself. Bet, he said, because he'll tell you, he said, I'm going to bet on me every time. You got to get that way with yourself. Bet on you every time. Why are you betting on your opponent? Why are you betting on somebody else to succeed? Bet on yourself, invest in yourself, do the work, and have the confidence in yourself that you're not worried about the matchup because you're betting on you. I'm going to tell you this, dude. I'm going to tell you this, Chico. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now. There's a lot of TV stations out there. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm going to bet on the morning run.
Hello.
I'm betting on Deuce and Chico. I'm betting on neither. Like that's why we do, because we believe in ourselves and believe what we bring to the table. Why else are we worried about, well, oh man, let's not do it right now because such and so on. Shit. They need to be on there saying, man, the morning run on. We don't need to be on right now.
Right. There you go. I think
it applies to all facets of life, y'all. It ain't just football.
Hey, also on the defense, I want to give a shout out to the guy who I thought Uncle Neely was calling. That's Jeremiah Brown, who coming in there, made a huge play. When I was calling it live, I think it was 4th down. I said, because previous possession, they scored, and I felt like our linebackers just sat there and was trying to catch instead of going to be aggressive. And then Jeremiah was subbed in, and I said, whoever the linebacker is right here need to go play on the other side of the ball. I didn't even finish the sentence because they snapped the ball and Jeremiah was already in the backfield hitting him in the mouth. So that's what I would like to see at the linebacker position more times than not, is a guy, just anticipating the play and seeing it and trusting what he sees and going after and shooting that gap rather than letting the running back come to him and he's giving the blow in the gap. Nah, dog, get on the other side of the ball and hit the quarterback, get a tackle for loss. I think he did a great job of that last game this past week, and also hustling down the field to create that cutback. So shout out to Jeremiah Brown. Martavius French also played well, sideline to sideline, covering the back out of the backfield. So shout out to the linebackers for doing their thing.
Chico, you broke that down so expertly and eloquently. I'm not even trying to add to it. I'm just going to co-sign it like we at the car lot. We're trying to get you that track off. But I do want to say this, globally speaking, particularly to the fans, the chats, or whoever's watching this later on. Treat the linebacker situation like the quarterback situation. Ain't nobody doubting Reggie Hughes or French because of what JB went out there and did. I'm not going to sit here and doubt Salter or Juju because of what Staub went out there and did. Like, this team has depth. That depth is going to show itself. And the beauty of that depth is when somebody is down, whether it's a bad game or a nagging injury or the flu bug just going around, don't matter what it is, have the confidence that, damn, not only do we have a next man up, our next man up is equal to or even in situations greater than the guy that went down. I don't see the problem in that, Dukes. Like, I see the opportunity in that.
Yeah. Well, you got guys, man. I tell you what, Cam team, they went out and they played the state champs, right? And in that league, in that private school league. And I think Cam got about 20 people on their team, they got 40. And they rotate. And so middle school ball, you usually have 2 or 3, maybe 4 guys that can really play, right? And the rest of the team is just, you just try to figure out how to get everybody on the field. Well, this team had about 9 guys who could play. And they rotated them. You know how much more dangerous that team was to know that they had 9 guys that could play ball, a corner that'll come up a hit, a D lineman that's really good, a safety, and our team maybe has 3-4 guys that you trust. Well, they start to rotate those guys, and so in the 3rd or 4th quarter, what happens when you've got multiple guys who can play? You're basically like you're playing 2-on-1. because your guys who are going both ways have, they're tired by that time. And then also mentally, what happens when you say, okay, watch out for one, and then 7 comes in the game, and 7 is just as talented. So one's not in the game. Okay, run it that way. No, you just ran into somebody who has a similar skill set, or he does something different than what one does. So when you have multiplicity when it comes to talent level at positions, it definitely makes it makes an impact.
And especially Duke's numbers wise as we travel, like we're going to play Houston where? In Houston. Houston likely to have 100 jokers dressed over there. We ain't bringing but 74. Like we don't have, when you get on the road, you don't have time for wasted motion. And that's one of the things, again, I was complimenting Chico, and he thought I was finna diss him, but I was like, dude, you telling me you traveled to a bowl game in Hawaii injured? That lets me know how valuable you were to that team. Like even though you couldn't physically participate, you were an extension of the coaching room out there. And so when you get ready to go on the road, man, and you have a limited roster you travel with, everybody that got to matter and got to bring something to the table. And what Delaware game helped you do, because you went on and did your job and did it in a quote unquote dominant fashion, you got to evaluate. I think he in the 74 now. I think he in the 74 now. Oh, I think he's out of the 74 now. So you're going to go on the road, arguably, with the most information you've had. You've played 2 games, had live bullets flying at you, fall camp behind you, et cetera, et cetera. Them 74 to get on that plane, all are going to help you win that game.
Let me throw another log on that fire, real quick.
Now you throw it on there. I'm telling you, my granddaddy told me, now you throw it on there, you got to poke it. He used to sit there in front of fire in that rocket chair with that poker. He said, let me tell you something.
Dude, you wild.
Anybody can start a fire, but only real man can poke it to keep it going.
That's right. I miss my bonfires back in the South.
Poke that thing, Chico. I'm listening. Poke it.
Boys. Shout out to my guys in the South. But I wanted to ask you this, or I want to add this to it actually, because Dukes is saying about how the other team has to prepare for it. Multiple guys who can really play in just different styles. Once this guy come in, that guy come in. Let me pivot real quick and ask about this, because this is some different styles that Canelo will have to prepare for, because Bud can easily switch from southpaw, in orthodox, like in between, like bam, just back and forth. How can Canelo prepare for that? Will he be ready for that? And who do y'all have winning this fight?
Man, if it's me, I think Canelo, basically, I think you try to bully him. And with that being said is lean on him. Don't let him get started. Like they say, when you got a runaway freight train, the best way to stop it is to not let it get started. So when you talk about 2 guys who have very different walk-around weights, I think that Canelo, if he had, and you're this question is not asking me who I think is going to win. This is asking me, how can Canelo win, right? Or how can he deal with Crawford's multiple styles, right? So what I'm saying is, I think that what you got to do is you got to stop him from getting started. Don't even let him feel like he's orthodox. Don't even let him feel like he's going southpaw. Man, get on top of him. Make sure that you stay within distance, and then you use your distance and you use your ability to keep him at bay when you want to, and when he looks like he starts to get started, smother him. Man, I mean, go to the grass. Like, there are a lot of things that you could do, in my opinion, with that walk around size advantage to keep Crawford from getting loose. And I think that's what you got to do. You got to use that size advantage, because when you look at it as far as what the weights that they're used to fighting at, Terrence Crawford probably once he regains his water weight, he probably has the biggest gap of a lot of people. Like, his walk around versus what he cuts down to, his cut weight is way different than his walk around. So I think that difference is something that a lot of people make too much of, but it's still a difference. And Canelo probably could have went up by now, to be honest. Like, he was always more of a thicker guy, so he probably could have went up. So I think if you smother him, you lean on him, that's the way. Outside of that, I'm not sure how you really stop a Crawford, in my opinion.
I don't think Canelo has seen anybody this talented since Mayweather, and we saw what happened there. Of course, he was way younger then, got a lot more experience now, but I do think Bud's going to present something that he has never seen before. Being able to switch back and forth in the middle of a round. in the split.
How you think Canelo can basically deal with that? How can what are the keys to victory for Canelo?
Shit, is it?
I
Hey
think
man,
Dukes, like we were
hey,
saying about this football situation, the more somebody has to prepare for, the less they prepare for what they want to do. Right. And so, but I think that, and I'm a bug guy, so let me say that as much as I'm gonna try to articulate this and saying how Canelo can win, I'm actually pulling for Crawford to win. Having said that, there's a lot of times in situations or in statistical probabilities, there's a certain situation that manifests that happening that you can even up your odds. So, like for instance, I can sit here and tell you that a team is 67% pass, right? That means 33% of the time that they're running. Well, if I go deeper into that 67% and I look at the down and distance, I can increase that 67% to like 99 based on what they have done before because of the sample size. Here's that term again, Dukes. You make it me and Chico. I don't care if it's the morning run or Uncle Chico. We have put enough shows out there that scientifically you could say by the 6-minute mark, they start arguing. By the 8-minute mark, they start arguing when it's about this subject. Like, samples matter, statistics matter. And so I think what Canelo can do is, this dude can switch up styles on me. Here's where I'm going with all that to say this. Yes, this dude switches up styles on me, but based on all the film I've watched, he switches during these situations. So how do I prevent him from switching? Don't give him that situation. Like, don't let him control it. Don't put him in a position where he dictates it because I handed that to him. It's almost like running the ball here in Colorado or stopping the run, when you're on defense. It's not so much about the run leading to a score. It's so much more about the run eating up so much clock. And if one team has the ball more, that team tends to win because they're taking away opportunities. So what Canelo has to do is flip that. I got to take away Bud's opportunities. I got to take away his opportunities to switch. I got to make the switch uncomfortable because if I sit back and let him do that, he's going to tear my ass up.
I think sparring is key. And I think if you watch that, the special that's on Netflix right now, he's sparring with a young guy who can switch back and forth. And I think if you just get comfortable with that, seeing that in front of you, because it's not normal, he'll find ways that he can get behind that defense and penetrate the defense, should I say, of Crawford. But I think it's kind of like stopping the run. If you're a defense and you're going into a game knowing that this team is going to try to run on you, and what do I always say about stopping the run? It's a mindset thing, dog. If Bud's going there with that mindset of this is not just a payday, like we saw the last guy who fought Canelo, he just ran around the whole time. If Bud going there, what's his name? Was it again?
Charlo,
one of them. I think
one
he just
Charlo,
ran.
But when he went in there, he was just trying to survive after a while. He kind of checked out.
Yeah. Right. And I think he was just trying to get the paycheck and like you said, survive. I don't think Bud is going to go in there with that mindset. As a matter of fact, I think that you also get a bonus if you knock out your guy in this fight with Dana White on the promotion side. So there's incentives also for knocking out your guy, but then that opens you up to get knocked out too. So this could be a good fight with a lot of action because of the way it's set up and the mindset that these guys go in there with. Because I don't think Bud is going there to lay down.
And I love that, Chico. I love whenever you bring up mindset because I love adding on that log of mindset, comma, then execution. Because there's one thing to do it, there's another thing to get it done. And what both of these guys have going, quote unquote, if I have lack of a better term, against them, this is one of those fights, man. If Canelo don't get it done, this is his last fight. Like, ain't no promoter finna sit here and keep doing this shit. And like if Bud wants more fights, more paydays, like he's got to go out there and demonstrate that I put on a show, I entertain. I know I'm getting a little long in the tooth as well, and I got more fights behind me, I got ahead of me, but I can get you, Joe Promoter, 5 more big paydays. Like, so both of them have a vested interest in not only just performing, but performing well, because neither one of them is coming into this saying, hey, this is my last fight.
Right.
And so you have to put on the kind of performance that makes a network like Netflix, a promoter like Dana White, guys like the Morning Run sit up and talk about you based on your performance. Like, how we talked about the Bills and the Ravens 2 weeks ago. And what did they do last night? Don't matter about the outcome. They lived up to the conversation.
Right.
Like that thing went down to the clock hit 0.
Well, the clock is about to hit 0 on this show, but we're gonna give our prediction before we get out of here too.
Now, real quick, I just wanted to say too, man. I don't think you can make enough about Bud never fought at 160, and so he damn sure never fought at 168. So what he's doing, going up 2 weight classes, and he didn't even tune up going to these, like, usually when guys like ramp up, they go up the first weight class and then they go up another one before they get there. I'm gonna tell you one thing about it. We all talk about how hard Bud gets hit. He hasn't been hit in a boxing match by somebody like Canelo ever.
So Dukes, to underscore that, and Sheik and I talked about this last night, and I had to get my AP physics lesson. I said, hey man, the bigger thing moving faster than the smaller thing moving slower is going to win. It's why your car hits a deer, the deer go flying. Same thing this past game we had against Delaware. Our offensive line on average outweighed them by 50 pounds. At some point, physics gonna come to play. We all equal first quarter. But how long can you lift my weight plus me and my 50 in the fourth quarter? And so you're exactly right. If Canelo, that train you talk about, if he gets going with that weight and how he carries that weight, it could be problematic. So it's the reverse for Bud. Like, I can't let him get going.
Right. I think the skill. This is what I think. And I'll leave it alone because we've been talking about this. I think Bud, if he boxes and doesn't fight, I think he wins easily. But you just don't want to get it. If you just don't want to get it, but Bud likes to fight. By the time you done piss Bud off, you in a fight. But if he can stay boxing and doesn't get caught up in the size advantage that Canelo has, then you're gonna be fine because it's not like a huge height advantage where he's going up against like a Deontay Wilder or somebody 6'6". I think Bud might be taller than Canelo.
He actually is, and his reach is longer. I think it's 74 inches to 70 and a half.
Yeah, he's just not bigger. You summed it up right, Dukes and Chico. Like, he is taller, he is longer. He's just not bigger.
Right.
And to your point, Dukes, that's what I've been telling Chico as we get ready to wrap up out of here. And when you're moving up weight classes, you may want to turn invisible and fight somebody else first before you turn invisible and fight me, because this is a weight class you don't want.
Unless you got the skills that pay the bills, like Bud Crawford does. You understand me?
Right.
Hey, we'll give our predictions on Friday. How about that? The fight is Saturday. We'll do it on Friday. We'll give our prediction for the Houston, Colorado game on Friday morning.
Yeah, because we got a morning run on game day. We'll be live from Houston from the team hotel on game day. So let's rock out.
All right.
And tomorrow is Tuesday, so we got Coach Prime's weekly presser tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that. Catch it live on the morning run.
Yes, and damn D. Y'all want to leave with something before we get up out of here?
I just want to leave it with a little Chico appreciation, man. I like you, Chico. You're a good dude.
Am I supposed to say that? I'm supposed to say it back to be Curtis. You're right. I like you.
You're supposed to say thank you. You're supposed to thank you. Like, you're supposed to
thank you very much.
I'm trying to learn you, as we say in Mississippi, learn you how to say thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Uncle Dealey. Thank you.
Chico funny, man.
Yeah, he's funny, but he's the reason why I'm glad I didn't mean it.
Well, don't say it if you mean it, big dog.
I'm just trying to man. I'm manufacturing diversity, dog. I'm trying to give you something, man.
Chico expected the setup, man. Anyways, hey, thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate each and every last one of y'all runners for joining us right here on the morning run. Weekdays, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and that goes across the nation. For Dukes in Atlanta, for Unc and Boulder, Big Dog Chico out here in the ocean. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great damn day. He said in the Middle East, we up and about his thing. Yeah,
well, you hell.